Continue today with the Gadsden City Titans and Coach Allie Smith. Coach, I believe this is 6 years. It's been six. I can't believe it's been 6 or 7.
Absolutely, it goes fast.
It does go fast. You look just like you did first time I ever saw you years ago.
Well, appreciate it.
All right, tell us, let the guys introduce themselves or you introduce them, and then some opening comments from you about this year's team.
Okay, I introduce them from from right to left. It'll be T.J. Worthy, our senior running back. Alex Swafford, senior receiver. Matthew Sparks, a senior, I'm going to say athlete, receiver, quarterback. Then to my left, Tylen Sims, a junior defensive back. Taylor Barber, defensive end. And then Nehemiah Samples, defensive end, senior. And, well, this year we excited about picking back up. We feel like we've had a good winter workout going in spring. Our summer workouts have been pretty good, we feel. Our kids, this is our last week. We have one more work day on Thursday. We're excited to see what we can pick up and what we've learned over the last couple of months. Going into this year, we have a lot of returning guys on the offensive side. On the defensive side, unfortunately, we had to replace everyone but one of our linebackers. And then we also replacing 2 defensive backs. So defensively, we don't have as much returning as we do on the offensive side. So, on that standpoint, maybe those first few games, maybe looking for them to carry us a little bit defensively, but we've worked, I think that we've worked hard enough to develop players that they should be ready to go.
Coach, are all these guys seniors?
All seniors except for Tylen.
Okay, so how many seniors on this year's team? You spoke a little bit about the experience, so talk about the experience of the entire team.
Right now we have about 24 seniors. The senior group, the retention and keeping all our kids in our program, that's one of the things when we took over in the season of 2019, we felt that if we could keep all our kids 7th through their 12th grade year, that we would start having some better outcomes throughout seasons. And so this group right here has really worked really hard coming in and just playing a role in developing throughout the time with us.
Coach, you talked about last year, most if not all the games you lost were because of self-inflicted wounds like penalties or blown coverage or personal fouls, and that's something you wanted to work on during the offseason and having that, maintaining your mental toughness and your composure. I want to ask, the players, how's that been for you? Coach said you concentrated on it. Have you seen any positive results in that area? Start with TJ.
I feel like we're growing every day in that area. We got us a composure coach, and it's in our ear every day.
Like TJ said, our main thing this year has just been composure, because that did hurt us a lot last year was personal fouls, so our composure coach has really helped us on that.
I think we have a lot more leadership this year than we did last year, and it's mainly from the senior guys, and we can help keep the freshmen, sophomores, and juniors in check.
Just piggybacking off of what my teammates said, if we can learn to stay composed, it could take us a very long way, getting those 2 extra games.
This year's team, I felt like, has grown a lot in maturity since last season, and it just continues every day.
All I've been hearing is composure at practice, so I think we'll do good next year.
Coach, what's your number one goal or number one thing that you've got to get done between now and kickoff? I know you're a very focused guy. We talked to you a ton this summer, but if you had to put your finger on one thing that you got to dial in on to get taken care of before that first game, what is that?
The biggest thing is the organization of making sure that we are putting our pieces in the right order and making sure that we're putting guys. We've experimented with some guys in other positions from last year that's been 3-year starters that's maybe playing another position, and just making sure that we're putting the right ingredients together. And because every year each team is different. Even though we have a lot of guys returning, we just feel like that we need to make sure we're putting the right guys so we'll have the best 22 guys on the offensive side, defense together, as well as special teams, putting the right guys together.
Coach, also, I know you're an old school guy. Emmett Sansom, we live in a new age era where everybody likes to pass the ball, but as you said earlier, you've got to return a lot. You got to replace a lot on defense, but you got an unbelievable running back sitting over here by you. Talk about how you want to run the football and talk about your running back a little bit and how you're going to kind of lean on him to slow some of these games down and these opponents you got that can score a lot of points.
Well, one of the things that we, with TJ, we feel like that he is one of the best running backs in the state. We do feel that way. But we also feel that we have a lot of guys that's around TJ to help complement him as well. And so we want to just keep the field balanced, and we want to be able to spread the ball around. Last year, we had a lot of guys touch the football, and we want to make sure that we continue to be balanced and make people have to guard the entire field. And we want to run the football. That's no secret. At the end of the day, I think that success comes. You got to run the ball. And even the teams that win championships, when you look at it, they end up they're probably 100, anywhere from 80 yards to 100 yards in a game. I just don't. You're not going in winning too many championships without being able to run the football.
Coaching, guys, this is for all of you. 2 years ago, I believe you made it to the second round in the playoffs. Last year, you made it to the third round. I'm sure that's a challenge this year to make it further in the playoffs this year. Could you speak on that and how you're working to get to that point?
Are you asking me or?
Asking all of you.
Okay.
From your standpoint and then theirs, if you would.
I will let them speak on it because I think that we have worked with them to let them grow as young men. That they can answer that, and I think that they know where we're coming from. I think that we take that one game, 1 week at a time, and we don't take anything for granted. We have to get better every week, and that's what we have to do. And then we'll worry about that as it get there. But I absolutely want to go as far as we can every year and continue to get better. But as they understand, they have their own personal and team goals. So I'm sure that's one of them.
Like he said, I feel like we got to get better every week. Last year really can't help us with this year. The only thing I can say help us is that loss to Parker, the small mistakes. We take them out, I feel like we win that ball game.
I feel like especially the people here sitting at the table are not satisfied with what we've done in the past, even though we have been pretty successful. I feel like we all want to go farther than we have.
The coaches always remind us of the score of the Parker game and how we lost it and the score of the games we lost last year. So I think that's one of the driving factors for this year.
I feel we got to be better in a lot of the aspects that we play in, as far as staying composed. And I feel that our coaches are taking the steps to help us be better in all those aspects, and it's going to take us a long way.
As a team, I think that we look at each game as a 1 week season. We prepare the same for everybody, and we just got to go out there and handle business.
Like Taylor said, it's like a 1 game season, like 1 week season, like each game. But I feel like we'll do better. We just got to keep on working hard and stuff.
Coach, I know you said just a few moments ago you take them 1 game at a time, but each and every year you play one of the toughest schedules, whether you're in 7A or in 6A. I mean, you've got a tough region, but then you throw in Muscle Shoals and Hewitt-Trussville and Bob Jones. You just add that to those 7A teams. Speak on your schedule and why you schedule like that.
Yeah, if I had some hair, I think I would scratch it, but rub it out. And I tell you, Coach Gadsden up at Muscle Shoals is a good friend of mine. I tell him all the time, you tricked me into playing you. But, I think that our kids, it gets them up. They like to compete. That's one of the biggest things that we talk to them about going into, every year. And I think our first team meeting was January the 4th on the Thursday for this upcoming season. And we told them, we want you to compete. And I think that that's what we need to do. There's no doubt about it. We have a really tough schedule. We tell them that. They know that. And I think all our kids, typically at 6:30, at 6:25 when breakfast starts every morning, they come in for workouts. I think that's why they're making the sacrifice to get up to come work. If they want to make it and have an opportunity to play in the month of November and have a successful team, I think that you have to play those guys to give yourself a chance. Obviously, our region is getting tougher every year. We're not sneaking up on anybody. I'm sure that everybody has us circled on their schedule this year and going to be ready to compete with us. So our kids need to understand that and be ready to go week in and week out.
We'll wrap it up with this question for all the guys, and I've asked all the guys that's come through this question. Team goals as seniors, I think all of your seniors but one, 24 seniors. I know you guys have sit down last season at Gadsden City. Talk about team goals and your individual goals for yourself this year.
Team goals, I like to get a first down every drive and score every drive, and win, compete. And personal goals, I want to double my stats from last year.
I think the main team goal is to be playing December 6th in the championship, and my goal is just to be looked at as a leader, especially by the young guys, and hopefully they'll follow it.
Like Alex said, team goal, get to December 6th, and then my goal will be play in the state games.
Team goal, kind of like what Alex said, December 6th. I feel like everybody wants to play in that game in the entire state. My personal goal is I like to think about it as I want to double my production. Each year I try to improve and produce for my team, because if everybody's producing, then the team as a whole is going to succeed.
Team goal is December 6th. And then my personal goal is like to do my job and do it to the best of my abilities.
All right, guys, that's going to wrap us up today. Coach, we appreciate you guys coming. Good luck to the Titans this year.
Go Titans.